This video was heavily requested from my best podcast setups for 2025 videos. So here we are. Let's not dally, but first we have some gentle reminders. You can't be a construction worker without a hammer. You can't be a plumber without a wrench. And you can't be a bassist without a head injury. Was that too much? And you really can't be a voiceover artist without a treated space. For a professional sound, you need to have as little reflection as possible. But if you're starting out, I have some wonderful news for you. Your closet is your best friend. I have known many people that have launched extremely prolific voiceover careers from their closet, and you can too. Now, it isn't pretty, don't get me wrong, but it can be one of the best sounding spots in your house. And if you aren't making any money as a voiceover artist yet, it's probably wise not to spend any money. So the closet is your best place to start. Just remember, the more things in your closet with you, the better. But make sure you leave enough room so you don't hear rustling every time you move slightly. Now, if you do not have closets that work for this, there are some simple solutions. Now, I did a video on building a voiceover booth with blankets and maker pipe, and that only came out to about $260. I know that sounds like more than you wanted to spend, but considering how good the audio came out, that ain't too bad. Otherwise, the price is about $500 for a professional blanket booth. One bonus is you don't need to do most of the hard work if you buy that. Just your wallet does. Now that we got the treatment out of the way, let's start talking about gear. Realistically, for an interface these days, you can get away with some pretty cheap gear. Now, the cheapest I would go is the Scarlett Solo. Again, I have a friend doing exceptionally well as a full-time voiceover artist, and she uses this. It's an easy answer that will take you all the way to making money, and even then I don't see any reason to swap it out. Remember, all interfaces at this price point, and really under $2,000, are aimed at the transparent sound. So with a decent mic, decent cables, in a decent room, the Scarlett Solo will do you just fine. Now, I can hear some of the voices in the back saying they don't like that choice. Well, you can do whatever you want, just make sure that the interface you're choosing isn't cheaper than the Solo, and it has to have comparable specs to the Solo. Now, the specs you're concerned about are EIN and resolution. For example, the Solo rings in at neg 127 dBUA weighted for EIN. That is fine. Its resolution is 24-bit and up to 192 kilohertz. That's more than perfect. Now, the only thing the Solo does lack is high gain. It only has 57 dB, meaning if you want to moonlight as a gamer with an SM7b, it's not going to be your interface. Again, though, whatever you choose, just make sure it has at least those specs. Okay, on to the good stuff, and let's start out with the affordable option as a microphone. And there's really only one choice, and you've been listening to it this whole time, the Rode NT1. Go ahead, get the Signature Series, get the 5th generation with USB, get the 4th gen used. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter!
Get whatever you want as long as it says NT1 on the front of it. It's only $159 for the Signature Series, and it's a very popular microphone for voiceover. The Signature Series, has a self-noise of only 4.5 dBA weighted, one of, if not the lowest across the board, meaning this microphone won't cause you any headaches for noise. It comes as a full kit, so all you have to do is mount it to some sort of base, and you have yourself a fantastic voiceover setup. So much so that you can go your whole career with just this microphone, and you won't miss a beat. Okay, it's the middle of the road where things really start to open up. When you start spending between $250 and $500, you start seeing a lot more choice. But this is also where you need to be watching comparisons and side-by-sides of each. What I can say is, don't get lost in the weeds too much here. Most microphones from reputable companies will do you just fine. Remember, all microphones need to be EQ'd before the final product, meaning you're probably going to be okay with any of these. Now, some of the ones that stand out for me, the Lewitt LCT440, Austrian Audio OC16, Lauten Audio LA220, the AudioTechnica AT4040. All of these are great microphones and will do you just fine. But here's also where the first dynamic shows up with the SM7b. However, there is a massive caveat here. If you do not have a good enough preamp with at least 65 dB of gain, do not go with the SM7b. Also, if you have no experience with EQing yourself, do not go with the SM7b. This isn't going to be the most impressive sounding microphone without EQ and compression, so it might not make a very big splash if you're competing for a gig. All in all though, if you are buying in this price point, the best thing you can do is to get your voice on as many options as possible. And this is also a great time to try to get feedback from someone to find the best sounding microphone for your voice. So I'm editing the video here and I realized I didn't really clarify something, and that is why I'm de-emphasizing microphone choice. And this is really important for you to understand. For a tried and true professional to record a voiceover on an SM58 will beat out any beginner that's recording a voiceover on a U87AI. That's not to be cruel, that's just the actual truth. Your mic choice isn't going to matter as much when you start out. Just get something that is good, sounds good, does not make your voice sound like crap, and pretty much most mid-range mics are going to do that for you. Okay, now we need some cautions before we get into the expensive mics. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of people here that think the higher the price, the better the work. And it's just not true. Before you go past this line in the video, you either need to be a practicing voiceover artist with experience in work, or you have to have had coaching. Remember, voice work is acting. You don't just rock up to a microphone and start making money. Think about it. If you want a specific career that pays great money, you often find yourself in school learning the ropes. Well, this isn't any different. If you are serious and you want to be working day to day as a voiceover artist, you need coaching. And it's not cheap. But if you want a demo that will get you work, well, coaches will get you there. And for the most part, you walk away from your coaching with a demo as it's usually included in the price. Now, I'm not going to promote one person over another, but a bit of Googling will land you on someone that can get you started. But take this step in life as seriously as you would with any other job. The tools are really important, but if you don't have the training to use them properly, they become absolutely useless to you and they're a waste of money. Okay then, with all that Debbie Downer stuff out of the way, let's just dive into the fun stuff. And much like the last tier, picking the right microphone in this tier can only be done by you. But there are some standards that will not fail you here. Anything really with the Neumann name on the front of it will not let you down. It will make your wallet cry and perhaps your wife to leave you for your reckless spending. But for studio work, you can't go wrong. The most recommended microphone here, though, is the Sennheiser MKH416. Without a doubt, it is one of the most popular professional mics for voiceover work. These are the SM58s of the voice world, and for great reason. The best part about them, though, is that they aren't as expensive as some of the other top choices like the U87AI or the AKG-C414. And really, Sennheiser has all kinds of shotgun mics to delight. Now, there are some cheaper models like this, the Rode NT2a, which I usually use for my top-down when I'm doing talking head videos. And even the NT2a from Rode works really well, though I haven't used that one. I do have a few friends that swear by it. Also, one honorable mention does have to go to the Deity S-Mic series, probably the cheapest option in this Pro section. But I'm going to have to caution you here. Do not go cheaper than the Deity S-Mic series on shotgun mics. You're better off moving down to some of the cheaper stuff I'd listed earlier in this video. You'll get much better sound, just trust me. But after saying all that about all the tiers of mics, remember, you could just go buy yourself a Rode NT1 and know that you have one of the best price to performance mics on the market and just be done with it. So then, what's your choice? Did I miss your favorite? You can let me know down below. Cheers, guys, and thanks for watching.